3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? This is the Undefeated by Choice podcast brought to you by Steelfist, and I am joined today with one half of your co-main event for the January 4th fight card, Mr. Justin Horsley. What's going on, my man?
Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Just so you know, you are only the second person who is a repeat on my podcast.
That's what I'm talking about.
You're only the second person that's ever done a repeat. The first was, and it's justifiable that it was him. He's a teammate of mine, and he's also the main event of this fight, of this very same fight card, Eric Iman. Oh. But I thought if I'm going to bring someone back for a second time around, it's got to be my man Justin. So here we go. Honored, so here we go, brother, man. I'm so excited for this fight you've got going with Warren, and I don't know many people in this community who are not excited about this fight. Just right when the fight was announced, run us through the emotions and what was going through your head as soon as they threw this fight out to you.
He's a tough opponent for sure. So I was excited, and the team, Team Bonafide, we were excited as a whole to compete against an honorable opponent, and we're happy to take on the tough people. We don't like taking easy fights. We want to prove who we are, and we want to fight the best and keep moving up to the top. Yeah,
there's no doubt about that. You guys do not shy away from tough fights. Your first fight, your first pro fight was against a tough guy. That was a great fight for as long as it lasted. That was a fun fight to watch between you and Justice. And now you're getting a jiu-jitsu wizard. A lot of people calling him that. And what is it? How is it for you going against such extremes in opponents, where you had one that wanted to talk, you guys had a back and forth interview with me where it was you guys' idea that, hey, we want to sell this fight, and now you have an opponent who is respectful and doesn't want to do the talking, doesn't want to do that part of it. How does that feel for you, having such an extreme in the two fights?
It's definitely a different fight, just leading up to it. The fight with Justice, it was constant. It was always in my head, because every time I'd open up my social media, there was new talk, something that I had to come back on. And now it's, I got an honorable opponent, and, I know our coaches know each other, so we're both, staying very respectful towards each other. Yeah. But I like it both. I like it either way. I just like to fight. Yeah. If someone wants to talk and help sell tickets, and I'm all for talking. And of course, I'm going to respect the opponent after the fight. But if you talk about my team and about my name, then I'm gonna have to put you down a little harder. Yeah.
This is one of those fights that I feel there's so many fights that talking does sell the fights, but this is fights for anybody who knows fighting, anybody who pays attention, especially to your guys' division, knows that this fight is an exciting fight, and this fight is going to be a good fight coming up. And when I can't remember who was it that told me about this fight. It was either Kevin or Pat, whichever one told me, like, oh, this is the fight I have set up. I was grinning from ear to ear, and I was like, that's a good fight right there. I felt that way against you and Justice, but even when you made this fight with Warren, I was like, oh man, this is an exciting fight. So I tell you, anybody who's in this area, anybody who knows about fighting, this whole card I'm excited about, but this main and co-main, it's grinning ear to ear for it. So let's talk about, you said they talk about my training camp, they talk about my team, they talk about my partners. Let's get into that. You're still with the same team, right? You're still with Bonafide, still with Coach Ryan. Yep. How's that going? Yep. How's everything rolling with that?
It's going great. Honestly, Team Bonafide is just a blessing to me, man. I was at Extreme Couture, and Extreme Couture is a great gym, but I wasn't getting the coaching and, personal help that I needed. There's a lot of guys around the gym, and, there's guys getting big paychecks. So, like me, it's only my second pro fight. I didn't get, the best of looks. So for me to meet Clay and show, what I could do in sparring, and show Coach Ryan that, I could have what it takes. I just needed some help.
Yeah.
And, some guidance. So, it's really a blessing, and those two, I can't thank them enough. They're brothers to me. They treat me like family.
Yeah, I've talked about, you were talking about Extreme Couture, and I just remembered my experience out there. It is. I mean, it's hands down such a great gym, and it's one of those big gyms that I really do like to go to. I've been there myself. I do like to go to, but there's just something different about smaller camps with just a few people that can focus strictly on you and solely on you and what you're preparing for and who you're preparing for, and so there's so much to be said about that. So I'm glad you found Bonafide, because I love those guys. Clay and Ryan. I love them. Every time you guys come into town, I feel like it's like old friends, and I've only met them through this, but then I see them, I'm like, oh, what's up? And then I sit and chat with them the whole time. So, we love having those guys, and you guys as a whole, as a full team. And so I do want to ask you about this, because there's no question the boxing pedigree that comes from Team Bonafide. You got I know I've seen Coach Ryan going over drills and going over coaching with you guys on boxing, and of course Clay is murdering in the boxing realm right now, and you yourself are also in the boxing realm, and so we know that striking part is so high on that team, and this fight in particular is one where the ground advantage on paper would go to Warren. What are you doing to nullify that, to take that out of the equation? What is without giving away game plan? I don't want to give away game plan, but obviously we know that's what his game plan is. He likes to get things to the ground. He likes to go to the ground. He's got quite a few submissions under his belt. So what is the thought process in training and getting ready for someone like Warren and what he brings to the table?
Throughout the week, we don't only train just striking. We train a lot of grappling as well. And I'm grappling with Clay, and he's got good 20 pounds on me. Yeah. And, it's tough to grapple against him. And, he's a good wrestler as well, came up through wrestling and boxing. So, I'm really happy that I have Ryan and them to teach me the striking side, so I don't have to rely so much on my wrestling. Okay. I mean, it might look like he's a better grappler on paper, but as far as I'm concerned, unless he gets like a standing guillotine, he's going to have to get me onto the ground to get those submissions in. Yeah. And I'm feeling great about my takedown defenses. And I can't wait to strike it out and make him fight me. Yeah, that was I remember that's the one thing you said when I get the kind of little social media trash talk back and forth. You were like, he's known as a jiu-jitsu guy, but I'm a 4A state champion, so the ground is not something I'm afraid of. I was just more referring to obviously you have so much ground training. I was wondering what the continuation of that was, and I'm sure you were getting it through your team as well. But I just wanted to know what exactly the focus was on that. So we just finished up Christmas. Christmas is over. How'd you do keeping on track with the holidays and all the good food? I did actually really well. It was nothing new to me. Wrestling season goes right through Christmas. Okay. And, usually Thanksgiving too. So I've developed a very good skill at staying away from all the desserts and stuff. Of course, I ate some prime rib and got some meat in me. But, it's cool. My mother-in-law, she said, aren't you sad that you can't eat all this, great food? And I was like, hey, I get to fight for Christmas. I get to fight here in the next couple of days, So, I was excited about it, and just, lived in it. So,
Well, so here that you said, all right, my prime rib, and I got some meat. It brought me back to the conversation. It brought me back to the deal, the deal that was made on this show. Did Justice live up to his end of the bargain on that deal?
Oh, he did. Okay. Yeah, he paid me that night, and that was cool that I made a couple extra hundred. I mean, I had to put going vegan on the line. That was a little scary, but yeah, it worked out in the end. So
yeah, I gotta tell you now. I'm gonna admit this. I did not want to admit this, and I did not want to admit this to you, but after that interview, I did some thinking. I was doing some considering about my diet because I can't get things right. My diet is not where I want it to be. And I watched that stupid documentary that everybody watched, Game Changers, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to try it. So I did hit up Justice for some tips and some advice, and I'll tell you what, I've been vegan for the past month, and I like it, man. I like it. I'm not trying to sell you. I'm not trying to sell you on it. And I'm not trying to sell anyone on it. That's not my thing. For me, it's not a moral thing. If I have a burger I don't care. If I eat something, it's not the end of the world. It's not a moral thing. But for the way my body feels, man, I'll tell you, there is something there. I just have to say that there is something there. I've been doing it for a month. I feel great. I feel good. I've leaned out a lot. I've lost a lot of weight, and my body feels better. But I'm a big believer in everybody's genetic makeup is different, and some people respond better to having meat in their diet. So I don't try to push it on no one, but I'm curious if you would have had to do it, what you would be saying after it was over. Because to me, I was like, I don't know if it's going to change much, but I'll try it. And then I was like, oh shit, I'm kind of sold on this. So yeah, man, I had to bring it up because the bet was made, and then I was the sucker that actually went and did it. So yeah, there you go. I admitted to everyone I'm doing it now. I've been keeping it quiet. I wasn't telling people. I was like, I'm not gonna be that guy, but I gotta own it. So what was that?
Funny you bring that up because we get back to Vegas and Coach Ryan and Clay, they decided that they wanted to go plant-based for a while afterwards. And I was like, oh, now you guys want to go plant-based. Like, where was this, a couple weeks ago, when I was stressing on vegan.
Yeah.
Actually that up.
Yeah, well, there's a reason I went plant-based. I mean, there's a reason I went vegan over vegetarian, and it's for this one reason. If I went vegetarian, I would eat cheese all day, every meal. I would everything would be cheese. Everything would be cheese. Cheese on top of everything. And so I was like, that ain't gonna change nothing. That ain't gonna help nothing if I just eat cheese for every meal. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go vegan. So that's the way I'm going right now. I'm thinking like maybe I'll do vegetarian on the weekends. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't made it up yet. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do yet because I know there's no way I'm gonna do vegan for the rest of my life and never eat meat again. That's just not gonna happen. Those burgers at Lucky 13. Those burgers at Lucky 13 are too damn good. So I have to get there at least a couple times a year. So, but going back to this, we didn't get to. This is a question I love to ask fighters. I love to talk to people about, and I didn't get to ask you last time because we were doing the double interview, but. Your first fight wasn't that long ago, and I love to get that because we have so many fighters that this is their first fight or this is early on in their career, and I like to get into the head. What was the emotion like? What were you feeling? How did it go? Do you how much of it do you remember? So I want to get into that with you. What was like? Do you remember from start to finish what that fight was like, and even in the back, what your emotions were?
Honestly, it happens I would say about 2 to 3 p.m. on fight day, and I started getting real emotional, real nervous, and it lasted about an hour of stomach tight, gut-wrenching feeling, and it proves, fighting is a scary thing for sure. I mean, I definitely have the dog inside of me to go in there and fight and do what I do. But, sometimes it's a little scary to fight, I mean? You're fighting in front of all your, family, friends, fans, and, you're putting a lot on the line in front of a lot of people, especially, my first pro fight where we had bets on the line.
Yeah.
It made it even, all the more for sure. I'm definitely addicted to it, I love it. Every time, like when we were up in Oregon for my boxing match, Clay and Ryan, they left the room for a little while, and I called my wife for a minute, and I was like, I just need to relax and calm down, just, clear my head out, because it's crazy. A lot goes through your mind, and it's a tough sport for sure.
Yeah. Have you gotten to the point yet where things kind of slowed down for you, or even, I guess more in MMA, because boxing is still kind of new to you. I'd say is that a fair assumption? But MMA, you've been at it for a while. Are you a little more comfortable going into MMA, a little more relaxed?
Honestly, the boxing match, I was really comfortable. It felt the same going out.
Yeah.
I start getting comfortable once the walkout is done and I'm looking at my opponent.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, it's time to shine now. It kind of goes away after that.
Oh,
but I would say the toughest part about fighting is sitting in the back waiting to walk out.
Sure. Hurry up and wait, get to it, and then you just wait. I don't want to keep bringing this up because you've got something huge in front of you, but when Justice walked out and you guys did that face off, like right in the ring, right when he got in, you guys went face to face. That is a moment I will never forget. That is a moment I will remember in MMA history as just one of the most pure, like, we're about to go to battle, neither one of us are backing down moments I'd ever seen. And there was no shoving, there was no anything. It was professional. You can't get, no one else could, so many other fighters could not get away with that. They would have acted stupid, they would have done something dumb, but you guys just went face to face, just looked each other right in the eye and was like, we're going to do this. And I'll tell you what, man, that's one of my favorite moments in MMA. Like, I've seen a lot of fights, I've watched a lot, and that moment right there, I was like, I look over to Kevin and I was like, oh yeah, here we go, man. I just had I still got a smile on my face talking about that moment. That was a great moment. So I gotta thank you guys. I gotta thank you and him for giving me that moment, because it's something I'm never gonna forget, man.
Yeah, it was a pure moment for sure. I mean, we're both, very professional. And even when we got, face to face, I kind of expected the ref to, come and separate us or something.
Yeah.
But I had trust in him that, he wasn't going to, do anything before the fight started.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that he trusted me in that too. And, it's just something that just happened.
Yeah.
It wasn't, it's not like I was like, hey, we're going to face off in the middle,
Yeah.
It just happened, and, I'm really excited that happened, and, we put on a great show for sure.
It was a pure moment in the sport, and I loved it. But like I said, I don't want to keep going on that because you've got a monster in front of you, January 4th. Man, so we did talk about the grappling with him, and being in preparation for that. But again, I ask this always, do you have anything in your mind of how you picture this fight ending? I mean, did you picture the flying knee in that last fight? That's something you practice, and all of a sudden you throw this jumping knee and land it. Do you have anything in your mind, maybe not as spectacular, but do you have some visualization of something that you're going to do to that's going to be a fight ending sequence?
I didn't really see the ending sequence. I mean, we definitely worked that knee the whole time. Even Justice was saying, oh, you have some tricks for me. And I was like, yeah, I do have some for you. Well, I definitely have some tricks, up my sleeve for this one too. And, we could see another flying knee. I mean, it happened pretty quick. I'm pretty quick getting up there. So, but I've got more weapons under my belt now, and I've got even better at boxing now because I had a live boxing match against a guy who's had over 200 amateur boxing matches. Oof. That was my first ever boxing match, and I went out there and fought him for four full rounds.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling really confident in my striking, and I don't see anyone messing with me in the grappling. So, I see myself taking this fight and taking control of it. I don't see myself, maybe not. I don't see a finish. I could finish him. You never know what's going to happen, but. I have my game plan set, and I'm just going to believe in it and go out there and get it done.
Perfect. Now, so I don't know yet if the recording's going to work. So I don't know if everyone's going to be able to see this, but can we see the mullet right now? How the mullet is?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. All right. I had to get that baby in there. I knew you just got a fresh cut, so I knew we had to take a look at it. I hope the recording works, so everyone's gonna get to see that beauty. A little sneak peek before you bring it out to the cage on Friday. So anybody who has not been to a Justin Horsley fight, what do they have to look forward to?
I always put on a good show. I mean, even in all my amateur fights, I took on some of the best amateur guys in the world. 7 out of 9 amateur fights were amateur champions. And the few that I lost, like one of them that I lost is Muhammad Nemo. He's now 4-0 as a pro. And, we went the distance. I've never been finished, and I always bring it. Another thing is I'm undefeated in the state of Utah. So, I'm putting that on the line again. And I love competing in Utah because, I got my family there, friends. The Iron Horse chants start rolling. And I like being a showman in there. I like to, show off my skills. I like to show it off for sure. So, I want everybody to have a good night and, remember the fight for sure.
I see you got a beautiful Steelfist belt there behind you. Obviously you're undefeated in Utah. Outside of going on and just being dominant and always winning in Utah, what is it about Steelfist that's different than other organizations? What do you like about Steelfist? What could we be doing better? We always like to hear, exactly, what the fighters think about us and what it is we can do to be a better promotion, better organization.
I'm really liking the promotional videos this time. I haven't experienced myself being on a promotional video like that, so I really like that, it's promoted and we have a good crowd around that follows, not only the Steelfist fighters, but strictly Steelfist.
Yeah.
So, it's really cool for me to compete and not only bring all my family and friends out, but I also gain more fans just by fighting for Steelfist because people, remember when I fought.
Yeah. So. I believe that this time those videos were put out by Kevin's daughter, so big shout out to her for putting those videos together because everybody's been loving them. They've been great. We want to do more of that stuff. Like I've always said, the only way that Utah's going to get put on the map is by people following the fighters and people loving the fighters. I think you're one of those fighters. I mean, obviously you bring in a big crowd just because being from here and being who you are, but also, like you've said, watching your fights, watching how you fight, how you conduct yourself, how you hold yourself, the sweet mullet. I mean, it's you're one of those fighters that you're not just one thing. You bring in so many factors to someone could be a fan of, and so as an organization, having fighters like you makes it easy for us, but also, we also know that it's on your backs that this thing will rise. So, we love having you. I love having you on the podcast. You're for some reason, you talked me into doing the Instagram thing with Justice. Now you talked me into doing this live video. No one else talks me into doing things. People ask me for stuff, and I'm usually like, I don't know. But, it's one of those things that, what I like about you is you're not afraid to do something, to try something new, and to kind of do something to be different. Like, you're the very first interview I've got recorded like this, and hopefully I can get it to work. But it's because I see, this kid doesn't want to just be like everyone else and follow what everyone else does. He's trying to do his own thing, and it's all for promotion. It's all to build himself up, and in the end, it's going to build us up. So I appreciate you, pushing me out of my comfort zone to do this, and hopefully it again turns into fan base for you, and you can build off of this. So, I wish you all the best of luck. Do you have any sponsors, anybody you want to thank in particular now before we close out?
Yeah, so I got Alpha Black Label. They're making all the Iron Horse gear. There's my shirt right here. I got sweatshirts, hoodies. We got beanies coming in now, drawstring bags, and I can't thank him enough. He puts it all on there to make all these wonderful gear for me, just for my fans to wear, and for people to support the Iron Horse. and thank him a lot. Another one, Zach Partridge, fellow Steelfist fighter. He's been sponsoring me with his insurance with Farm Bureau, and can't appreciate him enough. For giving me a couple of $100 extra bucks. Just to come out and compete and give him a couple shout outs. And then we got the Zion tattoo with Matt Pearson down in St. George, and I will tell you, if you want a good tattoo, you go see him.
You're not lying. I actually follow him on Instagram, and I've talked to him a few times about maybe doing some work, but he's all the way down in St. George. So, but no, he's legit. This dude is legit. Look him up if you're looking to get work done.
Not only that, he's great at jiu-jitsu. He just won, I don't know the exact tournament, but it was basically like IBJJ Nationals.
Oh, nice.
And, he won gold in the absolute division.
Nice. And, congratulations to him, man.
So it's cool that he supports me because, he does martial arts and stuff, and he likes to be involved in it. So very thankful to have him. Of course, I want to thank Team Bonafide, Sadie All, Brian All, Clay Collard. Thanks for always being there, pushing me. Clay's actually under the weather right now, not feeling very good, and I call Coach, and he tells me exactly what to do in the gym, and expects me to do it. So, yeah, it's awesome to have them for sure.
Nice. Man, I just want to, again, thank you for doing the show. Thank you for, always, being willing to get out here and do the promotion. Just everything that you've done for Steelfist so far. I look forward to continuing working with you, man. I wish you all the best of luck. We will see you. I'll see you next Thursday, but everyone else gets to see you next Friday night, January 4th, in the ring against an absolute beast, and this is a fight that everyone's looking forward to. So, man, Justin, thank you for doing the show, man.
For sure. Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it, and I'm excited. You heard on where weigh-ins are at or anything like that?
I don't know yet. I'm sure it'll be. I'm sure they'll find someone's gym to do.
It's not out in the cold.
It's not out in the cold. I don't think they'll do that. Out
here in Vegas, they made me into a wimp about the cold. So.
Yeah, no, I think it's indoors. We'll find out. I'll message you. But man, thanks for doing the show. I'm going to close out. But best of luck, brother.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it, bro. Hey, see ya.
All right, everyone, there you have it. The Iron Horse, Justin Horsley. Everybody, make sure that you are making it out. One second, let me close all this stuff up. All right, make sure you make it out to this fight card. This is an exciting fight card. This is you've been seeing me grin from ear to ear this whole time. I'm so excited for this fight. I'm excited for this fight card. We're ready to get back into it, man. Make sure, if you know Justin, to get a hold of him, get tickets from him. It helps out the fighter directly. If you can't get to him, go to steelfistfight.com, or you can buy tickets at the door. As always, doors open at 6, fights start at 7. Union Event Center, Salt Lake City. You can find us on iTunes, iHeartRadio, and YouTube under the Undefeated by Choice podcast. And you can find Steelfist on Instagram and on Facebook. On Instagram, it's at Steelfist Fight. On Facebook, it's Steelfist Fight Night. Make sure you're getting your tickets. Make sure you're coming out to the fights. Make sure you're supporting your local fighters, everyone. Until I see you next time, be good to yourself. Be good to each other. I love you.